slide is about the different types of cultures and their ceremonial mortuary behavior, and the multiple interpretations about death throughout these different cultures. There are more cultures throughout the world that have even been recorded. But from the cultures we are aware of, here are some examples. Japanese culture, Greek culture, African culture, Chinese culture, American culture, Mexican culture, Jamaican culture, and the Colombian culture. But of course, as I said before, those are only some of them. Of course, all of these cultures have a certain way that they put the deceased to rest. A popular mortuary behavior in the United States would be burial of the body through the ceremony of a funeral, which is often religious, but not all the time, and there is usually a tombstone at the end of the grave, or a plaque stating their name and how long they were alive to the date of their death. There is also cremation, in which you burn the body of the deceased and have their ashes put into an urn or box of some sort. Some people, before they die, tell their relatives or friends how they would like to be laid to rest when they pass away. Also, they often request where they would like the ceremony of laying to rest be. This slide is about the... Here are some culturally different types of burials, from history and from even now. A barrow is an archaeological term for a specific type of burial mound belonging to the Neolithic period structures in Western Europe. A stupa is a burial monument built to house some of the ashes of the Buddha. A kurgan is a type of burial mound built by several groups of the nomadic people of Central Asia, the oldest dating to the Bronze Age. Chulpas are ancient towers built by Andean societies to house their dead beginning about 1500 years ago. A cairn is an unmortared pile of rocks, carefully stacked to act as a marker and sometimes to cover a burial. Of course, these are only some of them. There are way more different cultures and different types of burials and different types of ceremonies that people throughout history and now use to honor the dead.
For types of mortuary behavior, I'm looking at the Tikal burial. As Weiss points out, it is one of the largest in the Maya lowlands, making it suitable for statistical analysis, and is situated in the central Maya lowlands in the department of the Petén, Guatemala, and was occupied from the Middle Preclassic to the Terminal Classic periods, which would be about 900 BC to AD 900. It reached its height in population density in the 8th century AD, with 62,000 people and no communal cemeteries. Caches, which are in structures and below monuments, are regarded as concealed offerings, as the material remains of consecratory and votive rituals performed by and for Tikal's rulers and elites, according to Weiss. Identified were 209 caches, including some from older excavations. 4 did not have lot information. 35 held remains corresponding to approximately 46 individuals. 27 held the remains of 1 individual. 6 held 2 individuals, and 2 held more than 2 each. Some held complete individuals, some skulls, and some only held fragments of human remains. It's also from Weiss on page 84. One of the main problems with the mortuary categorizations that had been applied at Tikal Project was that the records in the Tikal archives in Philadelphia showed several caches and burials renumbered as problematical deposits, and problematical deposits turned into caches. As a result, the numbers in no way reflect the actual number of deposits. Of 218 numbered burials, only 207 remain. 241 cache numbers correspond to 209 cache deposits, and of 275 numbered problematical deposits, only 223 exist. Despite efforts to make amends, the classifications still remain highly inconsistent. Weiss, page 86. Weiss also points out
there were a few theoretical approaches that could have been used to analyze the data of the Tikal burial sites. The first one that I will cover is the theory of historical particularism. Historical particularism is the theory that instead of progressing along a cookie-cutter format, cultures were more commonly shaped by a unique set of events that shaped their course. The author even states that the purpose of this report was to show that the Tikal burial sites prove that this is not possible to clump burials together in a select few categories, and even that using the word burial skews how we look at mortuary deposits. A side effect of this theory is that it led to a great increase in research knowledge of some more primitive cultures that still existed in the world. Because of the fear that they would be wiped out by more civilized cultures, the mountain of research data was gathered so that we would be able to examine the unique events that shaped these more primitive cultures, and hopefully gain a more complete anthropological knowledge. The second theoretical approach used was post-processualism. Post-processualism is the theory that true scientific theory is too difficult or impossible to achieve in regards to archaeological research. This is because of two reasons, the first of which is due to the bias of modern thinking being applied to ancient lifestyles. The reasons that we think of and the way we think are much different than the way the subjects we study thought. They had a completely different frame of mind and a more basic sense of priorities. The second reason is that archaeology has a hard time providing the reproducibility that scientific theory demands.
So before discussing the method, there are a few things to keep in mind while recovering data for archaeological sites. The use of historic information can help us with the understanding of mortuary data. Also, when recording and interpreting data from burials, our own cultural perception is normally used to guide us. An important quote from the book Social Bioarchaeology says that to study one aspect of the mortuary ritual under the assumption that it represents the whole, and to assume that the mortuary behavior of one specific group of people stands for overall society can seriously flaw the understanding of our past. The main method to recover data at the mortuary sites is to categorize the findings. The method that will be discussed in this video is the one used during the Tikal project by the University of Pennsylvania. Two ways a mortuary site is categorized is by special deposits and general excavations. Special deposits are the materials and features that are a result of one activity or of activities that are closely spaced together. General excavations, unlike special deposits, aren't specific. It's the category that covers everything else in the excavation. Special deposits have more categories within it. They include burials, cache, and problematical deposits. Burials are found to be a set of specifically placed human remains. Burials are focused on past behavior, which makes them distinguishable from cache and problematical deposit. Cache are found in burials usually consist of ceremonial and ritual objects. These were for rulers and the elite of the society. Problematical deposits contain material remains that tend to be found as having an uncertain function. Problematical deposits normally are mixed up or incomplete human remains, some of which have signs of burning and broken bones. The They are also seen to contain materials from different points of time, therefore possibly representing multiple events. Out of three subgroups, burials almost always are found with human remains, while cache and problematical deposits it's much less common.